Hey guys, it is Nat here. This week I am going to go through what it's been like through my pregnancy. I am due January 13th. It is January 8th, so I'm 39 weeks and 2 days along. I conceived in April, and I just want to kind of go through how I found out I was pregnant. So, my ex roommate and I were linked on our menstrual cycles, and she had started hers, and she was talking about how she was almost done. And I was like, whoa, I was like, wait, are you early? Because, like, I haven't started yet. And she was like, no. Well, I had just had surgery like 3 weeks before that, so I was like, maybe my body's just like taking a little bit of time to heal. And my tonsils removed like 3 weeks before that. So I went across the street to Walmart and I bought a ton of tests because I was super nervous. I took a test every day for a week and it was negative. Every single day it was negative. And I was gonna wait another week to see if my period was gonna start or not. And I woke up the following Sunday, which just happened to be Mother's Day on May 12th, and my pregnancy test was immediately positive. I was pretty happy because I got to wake up my mom on Mother's Day telling her she's going to be a grandmother, so that was pretty exciting. My first trimester, I was very emotional. I was crying, I was depressed. Like, I didn't know how to handle like all the emotional like roller coaster I was going through. I had no idea. I don't even remember what movie we were watching. I think it was The Black Klansman. I was like bawling throughout the whole movie. And I think I was watching it with my mom and she goes, "I just forget how emotional you are." And I was like, I am not this emotional. Like, normally I am not this emotional whatsoever. But not too far into my first trimester, I started having cramps and bleeding. It wasn't really spotting, it was like bright red, and I was having cramps. So at the time I was working at a loan company and I started kind of freaking out a little bit, and I pulled my boss aside. I was like, look, like, this is what's going on. I said my doctor's office just told me to come in for an emergency visit. And he was like, okay, just stay calm. And I'm sitting there like bawling. He's like, stay calm, don't put the extra pressure on the baby. He's like, go get checked out and see what's going on. So I went in and we had an emergency ultrasound, and then I had to wait, I think, like 30 minutes to see the OB. Now, I went into the OB. She is actually the same woman that delivered me and my brother, and she's friends with my grandmother. Small community. She basically told me that there was a chromosome issue with my baby because from the last menstrual cycle I had, my due date would have been January 10th, and I was showing a week behind with my ultrasound. So she told me there was going to be a chromosome issue. We didn't do any sort of testing, and she's like, we're gonna have to abort the baby. I froze. Like, my heart sunk into my stomach. I was so upset. She was like, just go home and rest, and we'll make another appointment to get everything done. And she wanted to kind of wait a week to see if the symptoms would go away. So I went home, I rested, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get a second opinion. So I went to, she put me on a bunch of restrictions. I forgot about that. She put me on a bunch of restrictions. I had no lifting of any kind, no extensive walking, and no exercising, because I was still going to the gym and exercising, but I wasn't doing it as much as what I was doing, because I was going every day. I was doing lifting, I was on the treadmill. I had lost like a ton of weight before I got pregnant. But anyways, I decided to go to this birthing center. I did some of my doula training there, and I've just heard wonderful things about them. And there's 3 midwives there. They work under 2 OBs that's here in town. And I went in, I told them what was going on with the cramping and the bleeding. So they decided to do one test. and it came up positive. It was for group B strep. They put me on antibiotics and all the symptoms went away. So I was so excited, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's nothing wrong with my baby. He's healthy. I don't have to worry about anything. Well, I think like a week or two after that, the doctor from the OB, or the nurse from the OB office, called me, and they were a little upset with me, and I don't know why, because I called and asked them to transfer my information to the birthing center so they could have my information, basically, and that I was gonna be switching and I wasn't gonna come back to the office. Well, she was upset with me, talking about how I never called them, and I never told them that I was switching. Just, it was a hot mess. And I kind of always knew that I didn't want to have my baby at a hospital. I wanted to have a water birth. So that's what we're doing. Hopefully, if everything goes okay. My symptoms, I was just super emotional. I was exhausted. I had no appetite really at all. I just really wasn't eating. I also traveled down to San Antonio, Texas. And that was for training for the company that I was working for. That was the only time that I was nauseous and had morning sickness, was because of the traveling. So that was a little difficult. Moving on to second trimester, I found out what the gender was at 17 weeks. 17 or 18? It was 18 weeks. Baby daddy and I were having some issues in our relationship. We really weren't even dating when I found out that I was pregnant. So I don't know if he just wasn't ready or what it was, but there was quite a bit of issues. He left for a week, came back for the gender reveal. We found out it was a boy. And then like a few days after that, he left, and that week was pretty rough for me. I was very upset. Other than that, my second trimester, I felt like I regained my energy. I didn't even feel like I was pregnant. I could definitely tell that I was eating a little bit more as well, which was good. Because I don't think I started gaining weight until month like 6 or 7 of being pregnant. So I didn't even look pregnant until like my third trimester. I created a list of names. My mom brought up one name and I was like, that's it. I'm like, that's his name. So I was talking to my mom about when I wanted to have my baby shower and maternity pictures. After the baby shower, I made a list of stuff I still needed, and I finished my birthing classes as well. I really didn't need to take birthing classes because of my doula experience, but I still took them anyways. I think that's all for the second trimester. I ended up meeting somebody in my second trimester like a week or two after the baby daddy left. And I was very like, I don't want to have a relationship, I have a baby on the way, I don't want to start anything. And then he just ended up being just absolutely wonderful. He is literally like one of the best things that have happened to me so far in my life. And I'm starting to get emotional just talking about it. He is just an absolutely amazing individual. And I couldn't ask for anyone better to be in my life. But anyways, we're going to talk about the third trimester. My third trimester, I ordered the car seat. I ordered my breast pump through my insurance. I started yoga ball exercises every day, as well as a rebozo scarf. We do that weekly unless I'm having really bad back pains. And then I started having home visits with a doula. I figured, even though I have my doula experience, I just have my mother that's going to be in the room, and she has never actually witnessed a birth. She's only had my brother and I, and she's a little nervous. She she just thinks it's gonna be a long process, and if it is, she doesn't want to be exhausted, because her and I both do have fibromyalgia, so it's a little bit rough for us. So I hired a doula. I had my ultrasound at 36 weeks, and my baby boy is weighing about 6 pounds 7 ounces, so he's gonna be a big baby because I've gained quite a bit of weight since the 36 weeks, and yeah, I think he's gonna be a pretty big baby. And I just kind of finished getting stuff that I needed for the baby. I have a command center out in the dining room, and I just write down everything that I still need, which a lot of it isn't until he's a little bit older, so we're covered. My symptoms, I've been extremely exhausted. I sleep a lot, especially within this last week. That's why I think I'm kind of getting close to being in labor, plus I had contractions not too long ago. Lower back pain is just absolutely nuts. I love the heating pad. The heating pad's like my best friend right now. Of course, I had Braxton Hicks for a little bit. That was like nothing for me. It wasn't until the contractions hit, the bigger ones, I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, okay, we're getting there. You're gonna be coming soon. Like, hurry up, because I want you here. I want to cuddle you and love you. But let me know if you guys want some like childbirth education videos. I definitely want to do a video on my labor process and the birth. I kind of want to videotape the water birth, but then again, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, because I told my doula she can take pictures and videos, so we'll see. I'm very excited for this whole process. I'm just like, just get here already. I want you here. I hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe if you want, and have a great day.